Can you spend a couple of weeks without seeing each other?
Mm-hmm. Sad.
And focus on the fact that you are breaking up as partners and see what that actually feels like.
2 weeks apart?
2 weeks apart. And let's meet after that. See how you're feeling.
I get very frustrated that he doesn't initiate things. I'll say to him, I'm like, you don't have to do very much. Like, all you have to do is just show me a little bit of affection and that'll be enough. Like, I'll fill in all the rest of the gaps.
Yeah.
But he won't do that. He'll never take that first step. Never. In 11 years of marriage, never happens.
It's not true.
It's like you are asking me to be that person.
Listen, part of what you're doing, in a way, might be a clue to what goes on sexually and in other domains. You are doing all the work. You've asked the question, you've answered already what his response is, you're doing it all. So, but then you're saying, where is he? Right? So, let's ask.
Where are you?
What are your thoughts?
Are you even here?
I think so.
What are your thoughts? First of all, how are you feeling?
Well, it's upsetting, a little uncomfortable. I think there's like a baseline fear that I'm upsetting her or that she's angry at me. She'll say like, hey, I'm just sitting here on Netflix. You could just like jump my bones. And it's just like, no, I'm like,
You have no idea what you're gonna get.
Like, I don't want to jump into a bear trap that like might be okay.
I put a real live bear trap and I wait for him to walk into it and then...
Right, exactly.
Right.
I would say
Right.
most of the time I bring up a topic of conversation, I feel like it's shot down for some reason. That creates a bedrock.
A baseline of kind of expecting to be rebuffed or criticized.
A baseline of just like being careful where I tread.
Okay. That's good information for you. But to go back to the original business of like initiation, what ends up happening is the more agitated, anxious, and in a way rejecting you are, the more you retreat.
Right.
Right? The more you retreat, the more agitated you are. So that's it. That's your dance.
Right.
Right? So if we translated that into what you each could do to make somewhat of a difference and see if we can get any traction with that, what would be a way for Michal to position herself differently with you?
I mean, really.
In a way that would be less scary.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, the truth is I'm never scared of Michal. Like, I
That's
love
not
her.
true.
What I mean is that, like, when I'm scared, it's like scared to engage. Like,
Right. So how can Michal position herself differently so you feel
Right.
less scared to engage?
Well, the truth is, if she were to greet me with a smile, that would be like a mile in the right direction. Like,
I always agree with it. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm constantly
Okay,
smiling
so
at you.
wait.
That's
So
not how it
that's-
feels. It feels like when I walk home, like I have to like sort of take a deep breath, walk into the room.
Oh, that
and like
sucks.
there's gonna be some like first of all, just I don't mean this as a rant, but like I don't think there's a day I come home that you don't tell me about something terrible that happened that day. You got to realize that like when I walk through the door, the first thing I'm getting is bad news. Michal's probably in a bad mood. And maybe just leave her alone or try to engage like politely and carefully without upsetting her. And like, I'll do that. And then it'll start getting on like buttons I shouldn't be touching. And then you just sort of tell me to leave like that.
So would it be an okay ask for you to move towards the areas that Michal is most agitated about? Let's say you are imagining, I'd like to have a really nice, relaxing evening later on. Let me start off by actually asking a question about what really makes Michal anxious. So how are we doing with the finances? What are your thoughts about it today?
Well, I don't know if I can really bring those topics up.
I would love for you to talk about that stuff. I feel like
Go
you ignored
straight
I feel like you
in.
get angry when I talk about those things.
Well, then bring it back here and we will discuss that because that's
Okay.
your homework.
Okay.
And for you, when Michael comes home, to spend half an hour just having a benign, pleasant interaction.
Yes, yes, and improvisational here. Yes, and can we also have an half an hour talking about things that are more practical?
Sure, I think that's perfect.
Fine, deal.
Deal. Forged in blood.
With the therapist spit.
Can we move on to something that right now that we need to discuss?
Yeah.
Go for it. Our sex life.
Yeah, you mentioned something about that. Can we?
yeah.
Yeah.
I have been, drinking since I was 14 years old.
Right.
98% of those times, I'm probably guessing were, sex that was while I was intoxicated.
Right.
So for the last year, I've been having to navigate
Yeah.
something
New.
very new.
Do you feel like where you're struggling is in getting into the sex act, or?
I'm frustrated with myself because I don't have the drive that I used to. And it was very much something that when we started our relationship was there. So
Yeah.
for it to not be there as much, is frustrating for everyone involved.
Yeah.
He brings it to my attention that it's always him that's
Initiating. How does it feel from your end?
Sometimes when I start questioning myself, I'm like, am I not attractive enough? Or, these questions, is it me? Does he want to be with somebody else? And
That's where it goes in your
yeah,
mind. But just to kind of put out a couple of thoughts, one thing is your work on, let's say to put it simplistically, why do you need to drink to have sex? Like figuring out what are you exposing yourself to when you're having sex sober. But then I'm also thinking about the dimension that has to do with your dynamic. And probably, again, it's something for you to do, and I know you're like, oh my God, me again. But
Why is it always me? Is it always me?
no, it's not always you. But hold on, before we barter, putting in a little more initiative, initiating a little bit can go a long way. How has so much come to rest on the sexual relationship?
I don't know. Like, I just want it. Like, just for the pleasure aspect of it, I just want it. Not, you're the one who's putting weight on it. Like, oh, if I don't feel like I'm flying in the sky, then that's it for me.
What about the two of you being intimate? You don't have to have full-on sex. You don't have to have work towards an orgasm, whatever. Why don't the two of you try to demystify the whole connection so we can get a little bit more of a sense of what's actually going on?
We just haven't done it. So I just figured
But
that was the issue.
haven't done it. It sounds like it's accumulated a lot of meaning. Do you feel open to doing some things?
Yes.
I think you need to break that barrier so it stops being like a phobia.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Just
get
do it. If there was a way for the two of you to go away, just the two of you for a weekend or something like that.
You highly suggest it.
Mm-hmm. That would
This
be...
weekend is booked, the next weekend is booked. It's more of who's going to take care of the kids.
Figure it out. This is important. All right, we have to stop, so I'm sending you with
Homework.
homework. Let's break through some of these phobic boundaries and see what's going on there.
Okay. All right.
This week has been really heavy with rejection for me because I've been making a lot of efforts to try to initiate both like sexual situations and just intimate situations with Natasha, and she's rejected me every single time. This is taking a lot out of me to just keep trying and just feeling so undesired. I'm just trying to figure out what'll work, you know? Like, I don't know, because my partner doesn't talk to me about her preferences. And I've asked.
But right now, ask.
What is your preference? How would you like me to initiate sex?
Josh has these moments where his desire is driving the interaction. And when he comes on to me, I'm like, yes, but I'm just not feeling aroused.
I don't want her to jump on my bones. I'm just talking about just enjoying something, right? I don't even feel liked. I feel tolerated. I feel like a pervert. That's the energy that I'm getting. It makes me feel sometimes like, is this intentional? Are you trying to minimize me? Because I'm starting to feel that way. Like my emotional self is hunching. And it's like, it's not me. My natural self is confident, boisterous, and it just feels like I'm being fucking suppressed. Let's be real. As much as I deal with rejection, I'm handling it pretty fucking well. I'm frustrated, and then I'm dealing with a partner who's making me feel like my frustration is oppressing them or making them feel bad themselves. So now I have to uproot my feelings, forget about them, and then worry about her. And that happens even in conversation. So I just asked her, how do I initiate? She didn't say anything. She didn't answer that question.
But let's go back to the original question. First of all, you said that the problem for you is that it's on Josh's, I don't know what to call it, clock or...
Yeah. I mean, it feels like I don't, whether it be, you know, my body, my hormones, or whatever, that feeling for me is very few and far between. So I don't get to experience or reciprocate that.
You don't get to experience your own desire.
Yeah, just spontaneous, like,
Right.
I would like to have sex right now.
Right.
And then being able to direct that at my partner.
Right.
Even on our lonesome time where it's like, do you pleasure yourself?
Right.
We'll have that sort of thing. And it's like, no,
No.
no,
Never.
not never. Extremely rarely. I'm talking about like, I just physically don't have the desire. With him, without him, like it's not him.
Either your libido is low or you're disconnected from it.
Exactly.
Okay.
But I'm not rejecting him. It's just that I feel like I'm, the word betraying feels bad, but like I'm betraying myself.
What would be okay for you to do together as far as any kind of intimacy that wouldn't feel like it's an act of betrayal?
Touching, making out, that sort of thing. I don't.
Do you have any suggestions?
No.
Try.
I'm trying not to be frustrated right now. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. I think part of what's going on is you're so overwhelmed by the feelings that this is bringing up in you, which I understand, rejection, frustration, and I guess some form of humiliation or feeling bad about yourself, that those feelings get so overwhelming for you that you're not actually grasping what Natasha is saying about her experience.
At this moment, no, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not.
Okay. Well, I heard Natasha say that her own libido feels very elusive to her.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's part of what you're meeting when you're trying to engage her sexually.
Yeah.
What I'm asking the two of you to think about is what area can you meet at somewhat in the middle between the two of you? Can we take sex off the table?
I have no problem with that.
Okay.
You know,
So
it's not been an issue.
let's agree to that. And Natasha, your job is to try to find some place within yourself to initiate from, initiate contact, initiate conversation. Okay?
Okay.
And let's see what happens.
So I've started sleeping at a different place. I think spaces has been instrumental in improving my mental health. I feel like 20 times better. But on Friday I came over And I got really upset and I was like yelling. I lost my temper.
About what?
Yeah? Do I talk about it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll talk about it. When I found that thing.
Oh, okay. I remember. We had a little bit of a situation where Christine happened upon one of my bags, thought she saw something.
Well, it was still not great.
Okay, well, we're not having. Well,
Why are we so mysterious about this?
No, no. She found something.
Can we just say it? Can we get to the point? Oh, okay. Something related to sex, not for us.
So then she
got mad. I got mad. That's an example of the things that I don't want to see and stuff that I struggle with.
Totally understand.
So when I found the sex thing,
she went and looked through my things. I didn't even use said thing.
What Nadine?
So then she's yelling at me. I'm like, what is happening? And she didn't say anything about the thing that she saw because she knew that probably.
What was she yelling?
I feel like
I checked out.
Nadine keeps downplaying everything, saying like, no, you should stay here. You won't even know when I'm seeing her and this and that. But I was like, I don't want to see you come and go with the other person when I left.
But you're arguing for the two of you to continue living together?
Yes. And I'm like, it's bad for my mental health, girl.
Hold on, sister. What I was saying that I want you to know, like, I'm okay with like you saying like we can figure whatever you want to figure out. But she was like just getting really upset, and it felt like I don't know what set her off.
But she's getting upset because you're saying you don't like for things to be in your face what Nadine is doing.
Yes.
So why still live together?
I love her. If anything, I feel more love, more probably because of the space and like all of that, right? So it's like my feelings aren't necessarily diminishing; they're going in the opposite direction. And to be fair, sister, to be fair, she was still very inclined to like come home. She'd be like, "Oh, I forgot this," and then like would come home.
Well, I also love
like,
you too.
So agreed. So like,
I forgot a hair at
she'd be like,
at the apartment.
I left her hair tie. Yeah. Like, I'm like, girl, you don't even wear hair ties, but okay. So like, it's also like that. Like, clearly, there's some part of you that wants to be here too. So like, I don't see. There's obviously
You're not suffering.
Not in the same way. I know that's not true because these outbursts, these things, everything's.
You suffer when there's an outburst.
Yeah, but otherwise.
But if Christine would keep it in, you wouldn't suffer. But Christine is suffering.
Yes.
Why would both of you ask to be in a situation where one of you needs to ignore something that's happening?
Thank you.
That's kind of crazy making for both of you.
I think I grew up in spaces and like was comfortable being uncomfortable, and like I'm good at like just like like turning certain things off, and like
that's not good for you.
I agree. Yeah.
It's not good for you.
Just makes me super sad.
Yeah, I'm sad too.
Say.
Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. I hate that we're not living together. I hate like knowing that you're near and like not here. I hate like that we have animals that we're not together. Really bums me out.
Yeah.
Big time, yeah. Yeah.
I hear ya. But Nadine, you mentioned that you want to have a relationship with this other or whoever else. And already you're treating the other person with more respect and consideration than you treated me, which is another reason why I'm angry. But of course, good for her, wonderful person. But what the heck? Yeah. I deserve the same. Like, I don't understand why you think that you can step all over me. It hurts my feelings that I know you have the capacity to move through relationships with consideration.
Maybe I do have capacity, and I think that I was trying to move. You need to understand, like, when I'm in a state of feeling like somebody's all over me, when I'm in a state of feeling like no matter what I do, it's gonna be a problem, when I'm in a state of feeling, I was in legit panic, in our dynamic oftentimes, like, I would just get, like, even the way you're looking right now makes me nervous. And so,
panic that you're being caught?
I recreated my stepmom, I think. Like, I recreated a very specific parental dynamic that was not in service of me.
So, can you spend a couple of weeks without seeing each other?
Sad.
And focus on the fact that you are breaking up as partners and see what that actually feels like.
2 weeks apart?
2 weeks apart. And let's meet after that. See how you're feeling.
Can you just send me pictures of the cats every now and then?
100%.
Animals. Okay, thanks. I just want to know they're alive.
Maybe you don't even need that. The cats are alive, they look the same.
We had a pretty intimate first 2 years, and then it just died. It just completely like got cut off.
What killed it?
Her belief in abstinence.
Well, we started off casually, so I was having fun too without thinking it was going to really go anywhere.
But why is casual sex or intimacy okay, and when you get serious, it's not?
It's not okay. It wasn't. But I think maybe I was rebelling then. I was probably angry and upset and going through a breakup. And just meeting him, I felt like was like, oh, he's a bad boy. So I'm going to do bad things with the bad boy that I'm not going to marry.
And you're suddenly allowing yourself some freedom internally.
Well, it only goes for a very short period of time where I can just let it go and just let my flesh just do whatever it wants. And then I'm hit with a whole bunch of shame and guilt and this mental torment later on.
But the struggle is with doing things or even wanting things?
Yeah, both. So it's not even just the act of doing it. It's just like...
Just any desires?
Yeah. Like, for example, like masturbation. Like, that I feel the same way. So it's not just...
It's not just what you do with someone else. It's sexuality in general.
In general. But now, there's nothing to feel guilty about. We're married, and this is something we should be enjoying. But there is no, like, urge or, like, desire for me, like, wanting him unless I had to focus. And when I do focus and it actually happens, A, it hurt, and 2, he'd get disappointed because I couldn't finish or he couldn't finish.
So are the two of you operating in this case that the idea of sexuality is intercourse?
Yes.
Okay. Well, maybe...
Right? Yeah. Right.
Well, when couples meet this kind of impasse, they have to get a little creative and expansive about like how they define sexuality. What if you're aiming to just restore some sense of intimacy, physical intimacy between the two of you, not intercourse, coming, just intimacy and some basic pleasure. Intercourse off the table.
I'm all on board for it. I'm afraid he's gonna push to the next, and then he's gonna express disappointment. And
okay, well, can you not do that?
Well, anything's better than not,
exactly.
right?
Exactly. So many other things you can do.
I just don't know what it looks like.
I'm sure you can think of what it looks like. Okay. Did you say that you do not or do want to talk about sex?
Oh. No. Oh, I'm not opposed to anything at this point.
Okay. And you?
It's part of the conversation, so it's silly to avoid it.
So how are the two of you doing? Are you...
We're not intimate.
Not intimate at all?
Not for a while.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
my God, now I'm having... Yeah.
What?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just going, oh, my God. Yeah.
Oh, my God, what?
Oh, my God, we're not.
Okay.
We're not.
Okay. Does one of you want more than the other?
Me, all the time.
All right, so you're holding the flame. And you? Do you want to get sexually involved with each other again?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would be the best way for that to happen?
For me, it's calmness and kindness. I mean, the two words that come to mind when we're screaming and yelling and screaming at each other. There's no desire to want to be physical. Maybe I bruise easier, when it comes to verbal attack. I'm going to remember things, and maybe you don't. If I scream at you, maybe you don't. I don't know, but I do.
You do. You know about yourself.
Yeah, I just feel like I do. And with that kind of bruising effect, I don't really want to be intimate. And last night, again, back to last night, I didn't trigger you. Something else triggered you before you went in the house.
But you, This is so sad to say, but like
Yeah.
you've become my dumping ground.
And then you wonder why I'm not intimate. But then why I'm not intimate.
No. But see, but this is what you do, and this is what makes me upset. I'm turned off when you're like that. You're turned off when I'm big and explosive. I get that. But there is two dynamics here that are not working.
Or a certain kind of thing that's working too well, which is that you withdraw, you approach, you punish by withdrawing, you approach with rage. It's too fixed. It works too well.
Correct. We're stuck.
Mm-hmm.
We're stuck in a pattern that is so unhealthy for both of us.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like a substitute, like you're substituting the nutrients of connection, passion, pleasure with bickering.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So can I task each of you, Allison, with like reducing or trying to eliminate the bruising, and you with increasing intimacy, both physical and verbal, emotional? I think that would do wonders
Okay.
if you each take that on.
Okay.